Yeah, so let's keep an eye on it. All right, Caleb, I just hit it, man.
Whoop, whoop.
Dude, that flickering of fucking Skype, man. I was looking out trying to figure out how to fix that, and I think it's just
how to fix what?
A weird way.
We are live.
When you watch it, it flickers, dude. It's so aggravating, man.
Refresh.
What's up, everybody in chat? Mesa's here, but he's not on camera because he has a sty, and when I have the lights on, it drives my eyes bonkers right now.
He got a sty and his tooth's messed up. He's a mess, this guy.
My glasses are on right now, and I can't see. God damn it!
You got your Raid glasses on?
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
My Spy of Stars Raid glasses. Tweet this out.
Yep, I tweeted it here. You tweet it and I'll put it out. But what's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Hey, everybody.
In the stream. Hopefully everybody's doing all right, man. Good to see you guys.
Spam some Rasputin
Sorry, we
emojis.
had to pull you away from Warmind. Sorry about that.
Grinding away.
Sorry.
I've barely done anything on my Titan yet. I just haven't had time.
Slacker.
I'm going to try to finish the story at least on the Titan tonight.
I started my Warlock. I think I got to the point where you got to go to Earth. Is that when you got to be level 28?
Yep. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I got right to that point, so I want to try to finish the story with him. What's up, guys?
Hey, Mega Impulse. What's going on? Everybody's loading up here.
What's up, everybody?
Everybody.
No, Mesa doesn't have technical issues. Mesa has a sty.
He has technical face issues right now. Eyeball issues.
Yeah. Hey, J-Bo. J-Bo. Destroyer. What's up, Destroyer?
It's awesome.
Hello, Philip. What's going on, guys? Oh, man. Let me make sure.
Everybody gets through here a little bit. Let some more come in right now.
Yep. To get here.
But hey, chat, Tom, how are you guys liking Warmind so far? Let us know. Definitely, because we have one email we're going to read at the end, but we also, we might pull some topics here throughout the show because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Warmind, obviously.
Yeah, there's going to we have so much to fill in here. We just have one email, right?
Yeah, just one email is all we're going to do. Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll be talking a lot, but we do want your thoughts too, because obviously, we all have our own thoughts. You have your thoughts.
Yes.
And we've been trying to gather.
Oh, everything. I got some thoughts. All right.
Yeah, tomorrow's video is the one where everyone needs to bring popcorn because it's titled. Let's see. It is the one where I'm kind of taking shots at the negative hit pieces and negative hits. Did the Warmind DLC quote unquote save Destiny? Parentheses the 3 types of Destiny players. #Mesa rant.
Ooh, nice.
I give my full thoughts on the entire expansion from.
I wish I had that. I don't have that emote where you're eating the popcorn. I don't have that one yet.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I haven't gotten that one yet either. Oh my goodness.
Is it better when I shut the light off? Probably is better, right? Maybe. No.
Looks good.
Same.
My head is always. My forehead is shiny. But all right, are we ready, guys?
We're ready.
Let's do this. So we have obviously lots to talk about tonight, guys. Big episode. These are my favorite episodes. Every time we do the post-launch episodes, they're always super fun to do. Because it's really just kind of just free flowing, man. There's no real structure to this. We are going to try to dig through some of it as we go. But guys in the chat, I am sorry if you're seeing a little flickering on the screen. The new Mac, I don't know what the deal is. Something with OBS. It's just for whatever reason.
I got no flickering.
Well, you don't have it on Skype. Are you watching it on Twitch?
Yeah. I'm watching it
every once in a while, and you'll see it go. So it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know what the deal is.
How's it go? It looks okay. It looks good.
Yeah, it only happens randomly, not all the time. It's like a random roll. It's a random roll on the Skype flicker. Yeah, my Skype has a random glitch. So, yeah, they put all the random rolls over into my Skype.
Hey, Gator Mag.
But here we go. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it. Ready.
Guardian Radio episode 252. Let's go. Welcome everyone to Guardian Radio, the first and longest running Destiny podcast on the net. I am your host, Mark Turcotte, and joining me this week, first up, from inside his closet, K-Dub. K-Dub, what's up, dude?
What's up, boys? Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us in. It's been a crazy few days. The big, giant, huge Warmind drop, and it's been freaking amazing. There's been a lot of stuff. There's so much to talk about, but overall, I'll start just from the beginning. Overall, awesome. I do have some negative stuff to say, but it's, I'm always keep it real.
We'll talk about it.
I'm always keep it real guy. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but on the front end, awesome.
Awesome. And finally, of course, that third voice here that rounds out our crew from the heart of Queens, Mesa Sean. Sean, what's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? Apologies for those on stream. I don't have my face cam up. I'm like always, whenever I overwork myself, as you could probably tell by my voice, I'm on no sleep whatsoever. But I got another nasty eye sty in my right eye, so I'm like very sensitive to lights and stuff. So no cam for me, just been grinding nonstop. We'll talk about it on the show, but really enjoying this DLC. And tomorrow,
you know what would be good for your sty?
What?
You need a graviton lance thing.
Oh, nice.
Man, that's the best gun in the game, dude.
I thought you were going to say his raid glasses.
My raid glasses, my raid
graviton
shoes.
Lances.
But yeah,
we'll
get into it. But
yes,
lots to talk about.
Yes. But what's up, everybody? Here, thank you here for joining us here for episode 252 of Guardian Radio. These are my favorite episodes that we do, where we're breaking down the latest releases, all the DLC content, digging through it. So this episode is going to be much more of just kind of a free-flowing show. I mean, we have a little bit of a structure in terms of kind of the order we want to talk about things, but we really want to dive in here because there is a lot to talk about. So I shouldn't have to say this, but spoiler alert, I'm going to throw out here right at the beginning of the episode. We are going to literally spoil everything and anything that is in this. The only thing I will say that we're not going to spoil so much really is the raid Lair, and that's because we haven't run it yet.
Because nobody could get in the damn thing.
We have not run it yet. Some intentionally in that, but so we're not going to really be talking too much. I mean, obviously, we're going to kind of dabble in what we've seen of it and that, but we're not going to be giving spoilers to the actual content of the raid Lair so much. So if you're worried about that, we're going to hold that probably till the end of the discussion, but of course, we'll let you know when we are going to talk about that. But quick housekeeping here. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at Guardians of D. Email us, feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com. We love to hear your feedback, especially now with everybody diving back into the DLC. Tell us your thoughts on Warmind. We want to know, are you jumping back in? Is your crew jumping back in? Has your friends list lit back up? Are you finding people to play with? Let us know everything that you're loving about it. And also, if you would like to be a patron of the podcast, you can do that. You can head to our website, guardiansofdestiny.com, or find it in the show notes for the podcast. And $5 gets you access to EBD Radio, where we talk about everything but Destiny, and all that content is fueled by you guys, the patrons or our listeners. And $7 also gets you the video version of that. So you can find that also on our Podbean site. To search Guardian Radio on Podbean, and you'll find it. Or again, all the links are in the show notes.
Last week was a doozy.
It was a crazy one last week, which we actually, we were committed last week. We recorded on the day that Warmind released. We recorded that night. So anybody who doesn't think we're committed, we recorded this month's EBD on that day. So, yes. So, but all right, guys, let's jump in here. Lots to talk about. Let's start right off at the top, I think, with the campaign. Right? I think that's the best thing they're the best place to start, because it's the first thing everybody did. Personally, I think I finished that night, Kate. You and I did EBD that night. I had a few beers, so I was feeling pretty good. I jumped into the story, and I finished it in, 2.5 hours, which honestly is kind of what I expected. I didn't expect this to be a big deal, especially the history that Destiny has with its expansions and kind of just, what we expect. We're not expecting this giant, massive story. Personally, I really enjoyed it. Now, that's coming from a guy who isn't deep into the lore, a guy who just likes shooting aliens in the face. For me, it was more, I think, maybe the space that they built, going to Hellas Basin and being on the surface of Mars, and then going into the ice caves, and then going into Rasputin's chamber, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I really liked how it kind of had me going to all these different places where, when I played Curse of Osiris, it just seemed like the palette was the same almost. Even though you go to, Mercury past there, and it is beautiful and it looks, luscious, and that it still just kind of had the same Vex feel, where to me this seemed very different in many different places. So I really, really enjoyed it. But what did you guys think of the campaign?
Well, I'm comparing it to Curse of Osiris, obviously.
Right.
I felt it was good. I enjoyed it, but I felt it was short. Curse of Osiris, I felt, was a little longer, but I didn't really get into it. But at the same time, I got to give a disclaimer that I typically don't play story or campaign linear games. So for me, I don't play Destiny 2 for the story. I play it to get to what's after the story. So I thought it was good. I understood it. Curse of Osiris, kind of like, all right, I think I know what's going on here. And then I understood the story. I thought it was good. I just thought it was a little short. But then at the same time, like I said, I'm just too anxious to get to what's after the story, to complete things and grind. And the grind is definitely back. And things are really, really challenging and difficult to just do in general, unless you're high power. And
well, hold up. Let's talk about the progression in a minute. I want to get your thoughts on story. Get to the story.
So go ahead. Did you talk about story yet?
Yep.
Okay,
It was quick. Yeah, he got through it. He understood it.
Agreed, it was quick. Now, what people need to look, everybody wants more from Bungie because they're so great at lore and doing stuff. I mean, if you go back through Halo and everything else, they're great at those things, and they brought Vicarious Visions in to help with that. And yes, it was short, but the reality of it is, if you're a gamer and you've been a gamer long enough, campaigns, all they are is training grounds.
Yeah.
It's just to train you the mechanics of what's coming. So you got trained to kill a knight, pick up a ball, throw it, and break something. Okay, that's, like the Nokris fight was fun, but why the hell was he there? What was that? Why the lore community is kind of like WTF,
That's what
come
I'm
on,
seeing,
man.
yeah.
Like, there's not enough going. Well, great, we get to fight this big worm at the end, and we get to fight Nokris, but why? What are their motives? What's going on? There's an email at the end, which we'll talk about this, but so I understand people are saying that the story is short and the lore is not there, but we have to remember, and I don't want to spoil the email at the end. We'll talk about it later, but I think there might also be reasons that it is as short as it is, but everybody remember that the campaign is to train you on mechanics. That's what the campaign really is for.
But even still, dude, I mean, it's, when it comes to Destiny, story-wise, this is no different than House of Wolves or
Dark Below.
I mean, it is. You get these short little story missions that, in the end, we're just going to rerun again and again. I mean, that's Destiny. It's grinding the same content. I mean, if you're not into that, then you shouldn't be playing Destiny. I mean, that's just the way the game is built.
Yep.
So for me, it was like, all right, well, I'm fighting this worm boss. I mean, that was... Even though you are just kind of doing the same thing in that fight, is pretty damn epic. And I don't know if you ran that as a heroic this week, but it's tough, man. Like, it is a tough fight. Now, that is one bit that, we can talk about, the fact that they recycled those strikes. I mean, that's, two of these.
Can I chime in on that one real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because in tomorrow's rant video, okay, here's what I talk about. So either they took 2 story missions and made them into strikes, or they were strikes originally and thrown into the story as story missions.
True.
Right.
I personally could care less. When I fire up the Heroic Strike playlist and those 2 strikes come up, it's a fun player experience. The Hive one with Nokris, the big ogre in the middle, trying to do that with Solar Burn, and depending on which advantage or disadvantages you have for that day, to me, very fun experience. So I could care less. Because people love to focus on, well, it's a story mission and they're lazy and they made it into a strike. Well, it could have been that those are strikes and they decided to put them in a story or vice versa. I don't care. All I know is that when they come up in the Heroic Strike playlist, I'm excited to play those rather than Exodus Crash, because I can't stand that strike. But for me, they're fun player experiences and I enjoy them.
Right. And Sean, what's funny? I mean, you look back at the original Destiny, like, if you remember vanilla Destiny year 1, the strikes had like nothing to do really with anything in the story, right? Where if you were a player that picked up with the Taken King, the strikes were somewhat integrated. At least it just flowed the way the strikes kind of flowed with the story. So they tried to make it a reason that strikes would be there once Taken King came out. And so that could just be, I mean, that's a good point, that maybe that's kind of why they did that. Now, I know a lot of people going in said, hey, I thought I was getting a campaign. I thought I was getting 2 strikes. PlayStation gets really the only unique strike, which is a very cool strike. I mean, the boss fight at the end is cool. There's a whole mid-boss. It's pretty neat, or mid-boss mechanic, if you want to say. You kind of fight in the middle, having to throw orbs or bring an orb and deliver it. But, I could see where people could be a little not enjoying that. However, right now, the way the game is built, you can't replay the story missions. So if those weren't strikes, you wouldn't be fighting Nokris or Zol again in the whole game, unless it came up as the meditation, or you just started a new character. So at least they're taking these very great, like really the best missions of this expansion and making them strikes. So at least you can play them again.
I've been seeing people saying that people play this game for the campaign. No, they don't. No. Nobody plays this game for the campaign.
People play games for a campaign, but they don't play Destiny for a campaign, is what it is.
This game is meant to be an online game that you play with your friends in a clan and do extensive things at end game stuff. The problem that we had with Destiny 2 so far is the end game wasn't good enough. Yeah. Well, they've now made, they've upped the ante, and now the end game looks like it's going to be pretty fun. And strikes are hard as a biznitch, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But nobody plays this game for the campaign. They just don't. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's cool. The visuals are amazing. All that stuff. But it's honestly, it's to show you mechanics and go through different things, and then get to leveling up and get to end game. Destiny is about PvP and raids.
Yeah.
And just grinding and hanging with your friends. And unfortunately, like the lore community, I'm with them. I wish we had more story campaign content. Like, I mean, I even mentioned it to Steve Cotton when we were at Bungie. I'm like, man, I really thought the adventures were going to be like the thing that you would turn on and turn off. Like I would log in one day and there's 2 adventures and then they're gone for a week, you know? And we did get adventures in this one, some new ones. And really just like D2 or, you know, vanilla D2, if you want to say, that's where the best story is. And it sucks that it's kind of there. And I wish there was more of a campaign, but unfortunately that's just not what I guess they really hired Vicarious Visions to do. They wanted them to more create just this big open space, which, by the way, Hella Basin is a fantastic location. I mean, every day this week, I have just wanted to log back in to see what was happening there. Now, of course, you know, the curtain gets pulled after a while, and it's the same things happening. But it's like there's always different people there. I'm always looking to see if someone run an escalation. Do I want to even attempt to jump in and just get my face murdered instantly? Maybe, maybe not if there's 2 people, but I've always had fun, and for me, I don't know about you guys, but going around and getting all the what's his name, the Rasputin nodes,
lost fragments and stuff.
Dude, I mean, I got myself the sword, I got the sparrow. Like, I had a blast doing that. That was a lot of fun, and now I'm working on the sleeper quest, and chasing down the music boxes has been awesome too. Like, that's a lot of fun going out, and you know, there was one that because for the fragments I used a guide, which big shout out to Eris. I used his guide; he had a great guide. But then for the music boxes, I'm just finding them because you look at that little code. It tells you on the map where to go. You go there. You hear the music. And there was one where I could tell it was behind a wall, but I had no idea how to get there. It took me a few minutes, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute. There's a vent above me. Shot the vent out, found my way up there, went behind the wall, and bam, there it was. And it's just like the mystery of Destiny is there. And it really shows that these guys started on this expansion, which I think they put this out there on the stream right after Taken King came out. You can see there's a lot of Taken King influence in this expansion, you know. So for what it is, it's a small little, you know, $20 expansion, and Vicarious Visions shoved in everything they could, kind of in that 2-year time frame. And I think they did a great job for what their part was. You know,
I think there's still secrets and stuff that we haven't even discovered yet. I mean, like the Black Spindle Catalyst is in the database, and no one has figured that out. And I don't think anyone has figured out how to get the Polaris Lance, the Anabray Exotic Scout Rifle.
I got 2 catalysts, and I can't remember off the top of my head which ones they were, but I got 2 of them.
I got Darcy, and I got the Tractor Cannon.
I don't remember. I have to go back and look. I mean, I haven't dove into that yet, but that's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
And I mean, talking about secrets, I'm sure everybody saw the big lore breakdown riddle that was out there, where the guys from Vicarious Visions literally
ridiculous, man.
Put a real world Valkyrie and coins up on Sleeping Beauty Mountain, which is right outside Lake George, New York, which is right kind of where I used to live. I mean, my old apartment my wife and I lived in was right down the street from Vicarious Visions, which was awesome talking to those dudes when we were in Seattle. But to find out that's where it was, it just blew my mind. And I've been trying to get my buddies who still live in New York, like, please go get me one of those coins, please, please. But super cool.
Yeah, we're trying to locate one of those coins to bring to Guardian Con and raffle off at our booth for charity.
Yes.
So if anybody has a link, you know, a hookup, let us know.
I told you, best man in my wedding, he plays hockey with a guy who he sent me the picture, so he's going to talk to him Thursday. So hopefully they got an extra one, and we definitely want to put that as the raffle thing.
That was really cool. That was
really sweet
because they're all numbered. It's really cool. And I don't know if you saw it today. The Vicarious Vision guys went and visited the people that went first, and they were showing the Valkyrie. And there's a code on the top of that Valkyrie that nobody knows. So there's still more secrets kind of hidden within this whole riddle, which is a very Bungie thing. I mean, even though it's Vicarious Visions that did this goes back to the like I Heart Bees things they used to do with Halo, which is so cool that they're continuing that forward.
Yep.
Let's talk. What do we want to talk about now? Do we want to talk about just jump in here with the progression? Because let's
talk about exotics really quick.
Oh my god! Oh, yeah. Let's talk about exotics.
Because look, the way that they overhauled exotics are bananas, and they are now exotic guns,
right?
And dude, I mean, every single one of them to a fault is now, you know, you have to. it's the hardest thing for me now is to figure out which exotic I want to have on for what I'm going to do, and I can't put my damn Graviton Lance.
It's the greatest, man.
Yeah, the same thing, man. Well, you will next week if it's depending what burn the weekly heroic.
Well, I used
the Sunshot all week, Sean, for my heroics. Right. I was using Sunshot.
Oh, I was using Skyburn as Oath, man. Have you tried that thing yet?
Right now.
Yes. Skyburn that's
so awesome right
now.
The
heroics and Skyburn is that's isn't it, man? It's just great.
Graviton is awesome though.
Graviton is ridiculous.
It's so good. It's weird. Because I explained this in tomorrow's video, is that I wish there was more exotics with this expansion. However, even though since they changed all the old exotics, I feel like I have a bunch of new exotics. You know what I mean? And now, granted, people could say, well, they should have been like that in the first place. And I say, okay, well, that's fine. You could go live in the past. I'm going to live in the future. But I feel like now that they changed all of these exotics, and I didn't even have a bunch of the masterwork exotics yet, they truly they feel exotic. I feel like I have new exotics, even though they're technically the old ones. And
nobody can get the new ones.
Yeah, there we. Oh God. Well, you know what? Raul gave me one new thing last night, and that was the Sanguine Alchemy, the Warlock chest piece.
Yes,
that I think every
OP as hell, man.
Everyone in trials, if you're a Warlock, you're gonna run it because your radar is disabled. In 30 meters, you can see people through walls. Man. It looks so cool, and I didn't, because I read the description, I tried it in PvE, and I was like, this is not that great. Then one of the guys who's in my clan, he works for Vicarious Visions and actually made that exotic. He messaged me, he's like, you might want to try it in PvP. And sure enough, I was having just a shindig last night in quick play, just literally just popping it and just watching. You literally see, like, as long as you're standing in the rift, you see exactly where the people are. It's hysterical. But playing with all the new exotics is a lot of fun. I hope they continue. Sean? I did get SUROS.
Yeah, I haven't really used it enough yet. Like I kind of was running around a little bit in the space, and I think we went and ran in some heroics, and I just haven't jumped back. I mean, is it any good at all? I mean, it was cool to have it back in my hands and just firing it up and just hearing the sound again. I did a review on it last week.
It's no different, and it's okay. I want because I reviewed on someone's account the HUCKLBBERRY last week. That thing was amazing.
Nice.
So much fun. For PvE and for PvP, that thing is a beast. But yeah, they definitely. I don't know what they've done with Raul and with cashing in exotic engrams, because if I'd say 10 exotic engrams I've had, and I've been popping 3 coins nonstop the entire time playing, I've only gotten one new exotic from him. Everything else has been a repeat.
Me too.
But I think that's part of not just handing out exotics the way they used to, which
they just made that change to exotics so we don't get dupes, and I've got nothing but dupes. There's 2 gripes that I have, and this is one of them. One is I've gotten 10 exotics so far, and I've gotten 1 new one. You know what the 1 new one is? The one I bought from Zur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same thing.
All the other ones are all dupes. Yeah. Even the Faded Engram I got was a dupe. No, excuse me. The Faded Engram I got wasn't a duplicate, but it was an older one. So it was nothing. It was nothing new. So it's just like, man, that's one of my gripes is that one. And then,
but you know what's been sweet though, man. What's been great is now all the exotics almost feel new.
They do.
That's what's been great. Right. Graviton Lance is a gun that I've always kind of looked at from afar. I was like, man, that gun really looks cool. You have it in your hand. It's, lighting up. It sounds good, but I just never used it because it was never worthwhile. And now, like you said, you can't put it down. I mean, it's almost like almost like an Outbreak now, like an Outbreak Prime, where you hit it and the little things would go out. Like that's basically what this gun is doing.
It's even more aggressive than Outbreak was. And then I've had 2 Skyburners sitting in my vault since I got them. I never used that gun. And now you got a solar burn. You better be bringing that. Yep. Somebody else was talking about Fighting Lion. Fighting Lion's great in PvP or PvP. It's every single exotic gun now has a use,
has its place. Yep.
Yeah, totally, man.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that is, of course, a progression. Now, we did know going in, I mean, they told us when we were in Seattle this, and they announced this on the stream. And I actually want to say this was even in the weekly update, even before that. You know what? That's where it was announced first, and I think we discussed it a little bit in Seattle.
Yeah.
About how the progression was going to be a little bit slower. They wanted people to, essentially grind a little bit more than you normally would. Now, personally, I think it's great. I think the fact that the grind is there, that's what Destiny players want. We want to be able to feel like we're getting more powerful. The only issue that I have, and I'm not somebody who's pissed or somebody who is like, oh my God, why would you do this? I mean, I hit 350 today, which, by the way, I'll tell folks, if you're having an issue and never got all your prophecy weapons, I never did that. You can go turn those in. Those will always be like you're getting powerful gear. They're always going to go a little bit higher, so look for your prophecy weapons. That's a quick little tip, because a lot of people aren't thinking that and maybe never got all the prophecy weapons. Go get those. They'll level you up. But my issue is with the heroic strikes. I personally just don't understand the decision to why it basically stops you at the 340 or 345, whatever it is, and it's a recommended 350. To me, it's a simple fix. This whole progression issue, people being mad, the simple fix is make it where you can grind the heroic strikes, still make them hard as nails like they are right now, because we're still under-leveled. You can get up to 360 with that, which will then give you access to escalation protocol, which still would be hard as nails at 360, because it's just, number one, it's hard as it is, and you have
400s at the end of it.
And then you can also go up to the raid at that point, the raid layer, where now the way it's set, it's like you're only stuck at 350, or really I got to 350 by just doing my milestones, which most people aren't even there yet by doing their milestones. And they're trying to bring people back with this expansion, but people coming back are going to do those milestones and then be like, now what? Even though it's cool and it's fun to go back and run those old raids, we never had to do this in Destiny. We would always, the expansion would come out, you would go do the campaign, you would go do the heroics, you would get the nightfall, and then at that point you would at least be able to jump into the raid or that endgame content and at least have a shot. Now, you don't have a shot, man. And the only way is you got to just wait till the next week, unfortunately. And personally, I don't think that's the right way to do it. And from all reports, this raid layer is hard as hell. I mean, before we went on the air, what did I say, guys? It was only 180 people?
112.
Or 112, that's what it is. Only 112 people had completed the raid total. And so it's like, and those are the people who are of that high level. So it's like, even when they are that high level, it's still hard as nails. So I don't see how that would have changed if everybody else was able to kind of get up there just by grinding the heroics. I mean, make the heroics take a long ass time to hit.
They do already.
You know, but like I have no problem. Well, I mean, in terms of hitting the cap, like make it a 25% drop for an increased light. Like I enjoy the heroics right now. I love them when they're hard. I mean, I told you that, kid. As we were playing, I'm like, dude, this is great. We're wiping at the bosses.
Like a mini raid.
I love it. The having the burns are so cool. It's making me change the way I play every time I go in. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to say, okay, what's the burn? How am I going to have to play my heroics this week? Like, I'm really looking forward to that. I just wish I could get to the 360. And that, to me, is a simple fix. Just make it turn the button on where they can go up to it, and it's perfect.
All right, so here's where I'm probably going to get yelled at. I don't think it needs to be fixed. No. I just mean the community, probably. I personally love the progression system. I feel right now, I'm 360. I don't deserve to do Escalation Protocol. I don't deserve to do the Raid Lair, the new one, the Star of Spires, because I need to grind more, another week or so, to become more powerful. I think a big problem with previous expansions and previous Destiny, whatever, either D1 or D2, is that we get to the power cap way too fast. We do all the endgame activities within the first week, and all we do is complain that we're bored, you know? So
but did that happen a lot in D1, Sean, honestly? Like, to me,
Sean,
why did we leave?
Well, hang on. Here's the problem. If you're gonna make a big deal about worlds first, you gotta give people a freaking shot.
Oh, come on! I'm not going down that road.
Hold on. They're catering to the hardcores. Only the hardest of the hardcores should get worlds first. Someone like myself, who's only 360, I shouldn't be even close to worlds first. You know what I mean? I don't mind, because I told WTF.
But if there's people that are taking off work to put the time in to go do this, but can't get to the level that they need to,
and they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
But man, Sean, my thing with this case, like, I'm not with Kate. I could care less about world first, bro. Like, that to me, and honestly, I didn't even run the first raid layer on day one. I just kind of lost the drive to do that. I talked about that last week. To me, it's like the hardcore are the guys that want to just keep grinding stuff and feel progression. Right now, once you do your milestones, grinding gets you nowhere. And that, to me, is the problem. We should be able to go into those heroic strikes and grind to at least get to 360 to do the new content. Right now, you basically do the campaign.
No, but they're trying to extend everything out. They said it in the TWAB a few weeks ago.
They did.
If you're a casual, you're probably not going to make it to max power cap until September. You know what I mean?
But Sean, I'm not a casual, and this is the first time ever that I have not been able to go in on raid day.
Same thing with me, and I'm fine with it, man. Listen, I like the fact that I will grind this game regardless, right? But I like the fact that I still think I probably have weeks before I'll hit 385 because I'm taking my time
Sean,
and enjoying.
I will tell you, you do have weeks. I mean, there's no, and to me, Sean,
and I'm
right
fine
now,
with, like I finished.
It's an artificial slowdown, dude. That to me, if the heroics could get us to 360, then you're still under leveled for the end game. Then you get to grind that new end game, and come 6-7 weeks, then you'll be where you need to be because you're grinding escalation, you're grinding the raid layer, and the raid layer is hard as hell. So I mean, the WTF Game Nation guys just beat it yesterday or whenever it was, and that's great.
Right, the way I look at it, man, is that look the escalation protocol level 7 is 400 power, right? The new raid layer, that's considered endgame also, right? Those shouldn't be in previous expansions, all that stuff's been too available too fast, I feel like. And then everyone complains they're bored within 2 weeks because they've done all the endgame activities.
Sean, I mean, why do people continue to play the game? The hardcore continued to play the game, really up until Destiny 2 when it became way too casual. Just go back to the day one thing of you do heroics to get to the light level to then run the raid or the end game content, which in this case is escalation.
I made it to
in the
360 raid. On 2 characters simply by running the Leviathan. It was simple. Leviathan drops tons of powerful gear right now.
Oh,
so you know what?
Definitely.
They're encouraging people to go do that. Then when you're ready and you're powerful enough, then go in to do the new raid.
You're right, but again, I think and that's where I think the misstep is. You have people coming back to the game. How many people have they lost with Destiny 2 and the bad blood and whatever everybody wants to talk about? This was their chance to shine. Give the people the opportunity to play the new content. Instead, they're saying play the campaign, do these hard as hell heroics, and then go back and do that shit that you never wanted to do in the first place. Or you did it before and you're like, wait a minute, I have this new DLC and I can't play it. To me, I just think it's a misstep. And honestly, the simple fix, I would think, is just increase the drops of the heroic strikes, so then people can actually play escalation protocol. Because right now you go in at 350.
But escalation is considered end game content, man.
Well, to get to the 7th wave,
to do that
I mean, I think to get to the 7th wave, but you should at least be able to do one wave, right? I mean, just like Prison of Elders or when you would go do Skullhouse, like, sure, you could do those first few rooms and then you just got wrecked. You're never going to finish it until you were way up there in the proper level and you grinded for weeks to get yourself to, level 34 we had to get to at that point. I can see that, but
here's the thing: you're both right. You're both right. The problem is we're running into what was the Court of War? We're running into a Court of Oryx problem. Number one, with the escalation protocol, but number two, the heroic strikes are such a biznitch that. And then I go through it. I spend 45 minutes running through a heroic strike and dying with blueberries, and I can't finish it sometimes. And then I get like not hardly anything as a reward when I get done. Like the heroics should be the path to grind to try and level up to then maybe on raid day I get a chance to go into the raid. I'm not saying I want to be world's first, but we talked about this, all three of us on this show, about what our favorite moments in Destiny were. Our favorite moments in Destiny to a man have all been raid day dropping in blind. Well, guess what? I didn't get to do that this time because because they made the progression slower, which I'm fine with, but then back the raid the hell up.
Yeah, I'm not for that.
Okay, I think they should have put the raid out at least a week after.
A week, yes. That's all I'm asking.
Strikes, I will agree with you. I play them for fun, not for the carrots. That's one of the things I explained in tomorrow's rant video. Where
do I get my carrots then?
No, not what I'm saying is that the heroic strikes, they're fun. The fun factor's there. Yes. But at the end, there is no carrot. You know what I mean? Once you do your 3 heroic strikes for your milestone, what's the incentive? There isn't it.
That's the problem, Sean. That to me is what I'm saying. Like this progression system should have came in like the fall expansion when they have more content and more things for people to do. Right now, people come in, they do their milestones, and then they're just like, you want me to go back and run the raids and stuff that have been out for 9 months? Like, no. And again,
power up, might have to come back the week later. You know what? Their goal is to bring you back each week.
And you're right. So, and dude, I will be because I'm loving this expansion. Which, by the way, for people that are maybe getting the wrong impression for me, I think it's great. I'm looking at it more from everybody else and seeing all the complaints, and that it's like, you know what? They're gonna turn people off. They're making that mistake of. By putting that into the heroic strikes and forcing people to now wait till next week. I mean, I couldn't tell you the amount of tweets and even just messages that came towards me of people saying, I'm done. I'm done for this week. Now I want to play, but I have nothing to do. Now I've been in every single week. I chased down all my fragments. Like, I've been having a blast. I'm playing on my alt. I started my Warlock today. I'm halfway through the story. Looking forward to doing all that stuff again with him and getting to level. So I'm somebody who's going to keep playing. Personally, like I said, I don't care about the raid. I would like to get into Escalation Protocol. Yeah, it kind of bums me out. Like, I can't really do much. But part of it, I think, even when I am of level, like the fact that we don't have, and it's not coming, and I don't expect it to come, but the ability to easily get a good group of people going. But that's been, for me, kind of the excitement of going into the Hell's Basin every time and seeing what's going on. Like, if I spawn in and I was planning on just going to run like a Lost Sector or to do whatever, and suddenly I see 5 guys there, it's like, well, guess I'm going to jump in with these dudes and let's see if we can do it. It's like, that's been fun doing that. It just sucks that I can't plan. All right, guys, tonight at 9:00, let's all sign on and go do Escalation Protocol. You just can't really do that, and that kind of sucks. I mean, but
if you're looking to power level up, you could just all sign in to go do the raid or the old raid lair to get powerful drops. But I don't know. For me, I totally get where you're going from, Mark.
Yep.
Like, I myself, I would have loved to jump into the Spire of Stars raid lair. I would have loved to have finished. We got a 9-man fire team
Escalation
together.
Protocol, Sean. I could care less about the raid lair right now.
That's a whole other topic we need to talk about, because we got it. It took us an hour and a half to get, like an hour to get 9 people in together to play Escalation Protocol.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
No, we'll talk about that. And I explained tomorrow what I think their philosophy is behind that. We made it to the level 7 boss. We got him down to like near no health, and we did it like 4 or 5 times. We got him down to like near no health. Just couldn't pull it through because a bunch of us were 350s, and then it was like myself and a few other people that were 360s. The DPS was just not there. And yes, we were using tractor cannons and Slova bomb and all that sort of stuff. But I still think their philosophy is to slow things out, to drag things out for us, to not burn through content.
Oh, sure. I don't think you need to think that. I mean, that is definitely the thing. But I think from a design standpoint, it's a misstep because they're going to lose people. Like, this should have been like everything that's here. The pieces are there to be perfect, dude. But it's like, unfortunately, once people get to the 345, 350, they're kind of stuck. And those who aren't the hardcore probably aren't going to come back. And I know Bungie, that's the thing. They want to recapture the hardcore. They want this to be a hobby again. So for me, it's scratched that itch of I'm logging in every day. I'm coming back because I know what I need to do. I know every week I got to go and do my milestones and try to get a raid layer running. Yes, I know that's what I need to do. But unfortunately, I think those people who maybe even play Destiny 1 casually, it's a misstep, and it's going to turn some people away, and already has from some of the stuff.
It's funny how when
I just think they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
No, you're right, and Sean, they are. There's no happy medium here.
It's like if they make it too easy, everyone's going to burn through it, bored within a week. Destiny sucks and this and that. Then if they make it hard and make you have to come back every week, like kind of Destiny 1 was.
But see, Sean, that's what I think is great. This raid layer and Escalation Protocol are hard as nails. So it's like to me, it almost seems like even if you were max light level, you're not going to stomp through this because this raid layer is very puzzle based. It's very communication based. So it's like you could go in with a bunch of blue. Let's say there was matchmaking in the raid layer. You're not going to beat it because you need to be communicating. You need to have all that going on. Even Escalation Protocol seems to be that. And that was really kind of what we brought up at the summit was, hey, this thing is great, but when people are max level, are they going to tear right through it?
Yeah.
And real quick, it's still going to be hard.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? So right now, as of today, I think I'm 351. Mark, what are you?
I'm 350.
Okay. Sean, what are you?
I'm like 360, 361.
Okay. Now, if the raid was dropping tomorrow at reset, wouldn't more people be going into the raid? And wouldn't, instead of Cosmos sending a tweet out 6 hours after it dropped, is anybody going to try for Worlds First? Which is what he sent out, it would be a different story. There would be a lot of people in there, and it would be an actual fun race to watch and follow. That's the kind of the point that I'm making. I'm totally cool with the grind. I'm totally cool with the progression being slower. But then they need to make certain things a little farther down the road. So, don't make me go try and don't make it so only 100 people in the world can go into the raid. That's at raid drop. That's the thing that I'm having a problem. That's where my problem is. I have no problem with the grind. I have no problem with progression being slower. None of that. But then make back the raid up a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That's just kind of where I'm at.
I just want to. I personally want to be able to experience the content, and unfortunately, the way it's built, I can't. If I can't, there's a hell of a lot of more casual people than me who were hoping to come back to Destiny now that it's kind of pushed them off. So,
well, I wanted to chime in just real quick on what I think the philosophy might have been behind making Escalation Protocol so hard. Was right now it's inaccessible if you're low power, right?
Right.
I think maybe, I'm speculating, that their philosophy is it will be doable when you're out and about with randoms when everyone is near max power cap. That we're not.
Yeah.
Because I feel right now I don't deserve to do it right now. I'm only 360.
Yeah, but Sean,
you know what I mean? Like,
here's the other piece of this is, you keep saying people tear right through the content. There's how many different bosses are there? There's 6 total. So either way, even if we were max level right now, we'd still be coming back for the next 6 weeks because there's drops you have to get from those drops. So it's like, let people at least have the chance to access it. Like, if I could have hit 360 this week, I probably would have went in. There's no way I'm going to beat level 7 even at that point. Like, I didn't have the time to even get to that point where I got
was we almost killed the level 1 boss.
Right? I mean, it's hilarious. But, like, at that point, that's like, all right, well, there's 1 week, so now extended another 7 weeks, and probably I wouldn't even beat the 7 next week, and so we just keep pushing it. So, I don't know. To me, that's the only misstep I think they had from a player experience is that I think many players will play this and say, I'm playing this for the new content. It should be Escalation Protocol. That's the new content, just like Prison of Elders was, before, just like, Archives Forge. And now it's like you can't even.
Well, I wish they would have made like levels 1 through 3 doable within the first week or two, and you get some sort of drop from it, right? But impossible to do 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah,
that I would have been totally cool.
And right now, you can't.
I've beaten level 3 with randoms, but I've never been able to get past 3 with randoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, and that's the only thing that I think is a misstep, and I think the simple fix would be make heroic strikes, even if they drop, even if up to 355, even if that. Like, they gotta bump that up a little bit. Because right now the heroic strikes to me are fun as hell. Like, they are super hard. They're great. Yes. I love going in, working with my loadout. Like I said, I can't wait to go in tomorrow to see kind of what the new thing is. Did you do the blackout modifier, Sean? That
Which one was that?
Modifier was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
No radar, 1 melee shot, you're dead. Oh my God, that was so much fun.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it's great. Like, that's when Destiny is at its best. And so for me, the heroic strikes are awesome. They're just not rewarding enough, and there's no incentive to go in.
That's the other thing. So it sounds like we're complaining, but we're not. I'm not complaining. The game is amazing, and it's awesome, and I love all of it, and the difficulty is fabulous. It's just little things where people are going to... Look, if you're trying to bring more people into this game, they're going to come in and then try and do things, and then when they can't, they're going to go, okay, I'm going to go back to playing Fortnite. You know what I mean?
For the casuals, if they log in... Okay, not even the casuals, not even the hardcore. Someone that's in between casual and hardcore. They log in. They hit 370 within the first weekend. I guarantee you they're going to tap out within
you're right.
weeks.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Whereas if they extend it like they're doing now, for someone like myself, I'm excited that I have probably a couple of months of looking forward to getting to 380. You know what I mean? Right, I have a reason to run the old raid lair. I have a reason to run the Leviathan. I have a reason to make sure I do every freaking weekly milestone to try to see how much powerful gear I can get. I really, for myself, for boredom purposes, I like the way that is right now.
Yep.
And I'm trying to put a raid together. I'm trying to put a raid group together with my clan for tomorrow morning before a reset, so I can help again keep power. But you're right. Once you do so, the correct way to grind for anybody who's listening, by the way, if you haven't already, the correct way to grind is just to grind blues and purples. You doing like public events and stuff like that until you get to 340, 345 with mods, then do your milestones. Yep. That's the proper way to do it. But everybody has been trained to go do your milestones to power up, and then they did their milestones, and they're like, okay, I'm 340, now what? Now I got to go grind blues for 12 hours? Like,
Yeah.
So
it's been interesting, man, to see it all. And, like I said, I've been really enjoying the heroic strikes. And I'm looking forward to logging in again. I mean, they've hooked me again, and I even saw a lot of people saying like I'm back, like I'm playing again. I'm enjoying it. I've loved like I said, the mystery of the space. I think that's really neat. I think chasing all the fragments down has been awesome. The sleeper just quest in general, I've really enjoyed doing that. That's been a lot of fun. Overall, I think they really nailed it. I think the progression side would be maybe more, not necessarily a sandbox misstep. It literally is just the progression. And you know, from my eyes, it's somewhat of a misstep. I know, Sean, in your eyes, you think it's perfect. I see some people in the chat saying that.
Well, it's not perfect. I just think it's extended, and I'm liking the extension because I know that I have something to look forward to. Whereas when I was 335 within 2 days, I was like, all right, now everything I kill is just a one shot, right? Whereas now I'm only 360, so when I go into heroic strikes,
with that.
They're challenging. When I go, when escalation protocol fires up, they're challenging. The heroic adventures, I haven't done one adventure on Mars yet, but I need to start doing those. Those are going to be challenging. You know what I mean?
So fun, man. I haven't done the
one other thing I want to bring up is you know, we talk about grind and exotics and things to do. How about these quests that we got to go on and finding all of these little the things we got to shoot? The fragments are it's brilliant. It's just that's when I'm talking about grind. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So it's I mean, yes, it's great. It's better. It's good that we're slowing our progression as far as power and level, so we keep going, have a reason to play. But those are the type of things, those Black Spindle type quests, the quest that we did for the sword, the quest that you did for the sparrow, and then the sleeper. Sean, I think you just got sleeper, right?
Yep. Got it late last night. Yeah.
Those are brilliant. You know, it's just been a lot of fun doing those things. And shout out to our buddy Eris, by the way, because he made a brilliant video on where every single one of those fragments are, and it's really good. It's easy to follow. And so, you know, go do those if you haven't. But that kind of stuff is fun, man. That's really fun. Well,
it's just like, what were they called in Taken King on the Dreadnought? What were they called? To get the
and it was
runes.
hard as hell to get that one that we had to jump on the
Argonaut runes, right?
Yeah.
The Argonaut
and I mean, this one has some really cool ones where you have to hit a button on one side and run to another room, and there's a door that slowly keeps opening, and one is like timed where the door will shut. I mean, it's really neat. Kind of doing that.
I had a hell of a time getting the one where the door would open in the night and the boomers are trying to shoot me. You can't kill them all if you kill them all in the room, then it doesn't open. Yeah. So I finally figured out to kill some of them and throw a shield up behind me so that I could
go. Yeah, see, I had a wingman on that one, so we were kind of protecting each other. That's great.
Yeah, I know.
But that you could tell then again, that shows how this expansion was built right when Taken King was coming out, because there's a lot that's in this that is like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But overall, I think Vicarious Visions did a fantastic job. You know, the progression issue is nothing to do with them. That is, you know, more of the progression folks at Bungie. That's a decision they made. And hell, they're trying it this time. You know, as always, things change almost with every expansion, with every big
calcified fragments.
Calcified fragments. There you go. This is a change, you know, for right now. But come the fall, we're probably all going to get a boost if you never played, and everybody's going to be able to run Escalation Protocol, no problem, come the fall with whatever's coming out then. But I think it's great, man. I think they did an awesome job. Let's talk about PvP. What do you guys think of PvP so far? Have you jumped in and started rising the ranks for your competitive?
I've been playing a ton of PvP just because getting clips, but also reviewing exotics, reviewing weapons and everything. And I'm in love with Graviton Lance, man. I put the Vigilance Wing down because what I realized that, you know, like Graviton Lance, it's not as forgiving as Vigilance Wing. You have to land your crits. And they, you know, for me, the Graviton Lance.
But the aim assist is awesome, dude. It's so easy to get those headshots.
Right. But the thing is, no. It's that thing flinches you so freaking hard. And if someone's shooting you with a Graviton Lance and you're shooting them with a Graviton Lance, flinching each other. First off, the Masterwork Catalyst, which is not unveiled yet, well, I mean, it's not in the game just yet, is going to be hidden hand. So it's going to have even more, like aim assist. But you got to land your crits, man. Like when I first started using it, I was terrible with it. But once I got used to where the recoil actually goes and how to land, you know, just make sure, because it's a different animal from using Vigilance Wing so much. Vigilance Wing is still amazing, but it's more forgiving because you can 3-burst someone as long as you're hitting body and some crits. Whereas with the Graviton Lance, because it's not a pulse, in my opinion, it doesn't feel like a pulse. It feels like a scout rifle. And I love scout. You guys know me. I love my Manananan and Nameless Midnight. I'm a scout rifle.
Talking to two guys that have lived on friggin' Mida.
So I said it's Mida, man. It's just replaced my Mida.
So it's I love the thing, but Crucible for me, I did 2 flawless tickets this weekend. Was a lot of fun. I been playing a lot of quick play, have not touched competitive. I've already come to the conclusion, hey, and I said this when we came back from Seattle, is that look, I'm never going to get Redrix's Claymore. I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? No, I'm not a competitive player. I'll play regular quick play, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
I'm fine, dude. I got my Graviton Lance. I'm good. I don't need that thing, man. I'm good. It looks cool, but have fun with it. But no, not for me.
You know?
So I will say that I played quite a bit. Quick play is a lot of fun. Competitive isn't that tough. It's not that bad. So I went solo into competitive just to see how hard it would be. Won my first match. We freaking rolled over people just with blueberries. And then I took a break and I came back, and then I lost 2 in a row. The cool thing about that progression system is you get 20 points for a win and only 10 for a loss. Yeah. So you can lose and not get completely wrecked. You don't have to be a superstar and win every single thing, but you're going to want to go in there with a team and communicate, because with the no radar thing, it's
a big issue.
It's a big issue, and but God, it's a lot of fun. It's just, I just love competitive. Ever since the D2 reveal, I've just loved it, and it's a lot of fun. And yes, Graviton's awesome in there, but there are other. The cool thing is, once again, they make it to your play style. Whatever your play style is, there is a gun for you, and there's an exotic for you, and there's a way to play that will be successful, and you can get to that level 3. It's not going to. I mean, it's not going to be that bad. Yeah. It's really not. But PvP's been brilliant. It's been fun as hell. Quick play is really fun. I got a quad with Graviton Lance on the Mars map that we love. It used to be Times of Shore. What's the map that we love the most playing PvP? I'm losing my mind right now.
Shores of Time?
Shores of Time, yes, but it's the new one. Distant Shores. Thank you, golly. So in Distant Shores, people do a head glitch on those steps looking into that square room, and they try to head glitch. And there was a whole team of people trying to head glitch there. And I killed one, backed up, reloaded, killed another, and it took all 3 of them out. After that, I got a quad. And it was brilliant. I took a little clip. I put that on Twitter.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Dude, it was bananas. I was like, once I did that, I was like, okay, this is the gun. This is it. And and it's just brilliant. And especially if people are still stuck in that team shotting mode, they're gonna get wrecked by that thing. Yep. And it's brilliant. It's so much fun, dude. I just love the G Lance, man. It's great.
The sound of it, man, just dom dom
dom. You
can almost feel it in your hands, just the sound. Yes. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about in the campaign. Can we just talk about the very last cutscene and just how epic the friggin' Rasputin's voice was? Like, that was, God, for what it is, Lord Nuts, whatever out there, if you're upset with the story and where it went, whatever. But for a casual story fan guy, like, that was epic. Hearing that voice and whatever effect they put on it was just money. Actually, not that it reminded me of it, but right now in God of War, if you play God of War, the world serpent that's in there, his voice is just booming and echoing. And this kind of was along those same lines, where when you hear it, it's very distinct and it just hits you. Like, you could feel it almost in your chest as he's talking, which was very neat. I think that they did that. So, but the sound design, as always in Destiny, is just incredible.
Always.
I saw, what was the catalyst for Vigilance Wing? Does it make it auto? Is that what
makes
it
it full auto?
Full auto.
Oh, I need that, man. Like, as much as I'm loving the Graviton, I still love my Vigilance in PvP. I've still been using it.
That's a type of thing, because it seems like it's random as far as a drop. That's the type of thing we should be able to grind for. When you're talking about a grind, when I'm talking about a grind, that's the kind of grind I'm talking about.
And where are those coming from, Sean? The catalysts coming from?
They're all over the place, man. I was doing Escalation Protocol and Attractor Cannon and Darcy catalyst drop.
Okay.
They're all random. Like they have different things. Like, one says found by killing enemies in strikes or so forth. You know what I mean? So I think they each have their own type of thing you have to do, but you have to kind of figure out what to do.
I got to figure out the Vigilance one then, because that's what I need to be doing.
Yep. Crimson is amazing right now, and the masterwork gives it literally 100% range. So, like, that's what I'm really trying to find.
I did get the skin for it though, for Crimson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's all it's all silver and engraved, and the etching, and it's so cool looking. So I did get that, but I'm not a big skin guy as far as
Which one was that, Caleb? I'm sorry.
I was reading for Crimson.
Oh, for Crimson, gotcha. I got the new Vigilance one where it almost looks like it has feathers.
Yeah. So I got one for Vigilance Wing, but it's kind of like older looking, dirty, almost like
that
clay.
Was I had that from Curse of Osiris. I have that one, but then the newer one, it has like little feathers almost on it.
Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, I don't have that one yet.
But overall, I think we're all pretty positive, right? I mean, for me, this expansion phenomenal. I'm loving it. I'm logging back in every day. I'm looking forward to reset tomorrow. Cannot wait to get in there and see what the burns are on the heroics, because really for me right now the heroics are just, even though maybe there's not per se the incentive outside of, I'm still working on my sleeper simulant one, but for the milestones I still just enjoy playing the heroics. They're just fun, man. That, to me, that's like the most fun I've had in this expansion. It's just playing with all the burns and stuff.
Yep. And besides, grinding the whole power level thing, I've been taking my time getting all those things. I haven't even gotten a sword yet because I'm taking my time looking for those things that you need to shoot. I took my time through these sleeper simulant quests. You know what I mean? So I was doing kind of half doing power level stuff on one character. I like that those quests are character based. So like if I found it on my warlock, I need to keep doing it on my warlock. So I would kind of swap back and forth between my huntress and then my warlock. I would do some power grinding on my huntress, get her up to like 345 or whatever, then do the milestones, and then come back to my warlock late at night to do some of the quest stuff that I need to find some more of those resonant stems, I think they're called, to make those things. They drop from
like everything, right? I mean, you can pretty much do public event, do whatever. Yep. I think it's what, heroic public events you get 2, just a regular public event you get 1.
But then patrols give you 1, and lost sectors I think give you 1. Yeah. They might give you 2, but just I think 1.
Just the only thing, quick tip, I think there's 40 of those music boxes or things to find. If you're going to do the sleeper quest, do not search those out because and waste your time, because there is a step you got to find 15 of the music boxes. They don't retro those in the quest, so make sure you get to the step of that quest before. Because I did like 4 of them. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Why not? I'll just go out and do it. And then I was like, They do respawn. I mean, like, to be frank, the easiest way to waste
find
time
them,
doing them, Sean, is all I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Don't think like, I got 15, and then I'm at that step of the quest, and it's instantly going to be done, and it's like, nope, you got to redo 15 more. So do not go and do that. Like, just don't waste your time out there thinking that it's going to count until you actually have that step of the quest. And then, Spire of the Stars, neither one of us or none of us have dove in yet. But from all reports, seeing how long it took people to finish it. I mean, we mentioned how many people. I mean, it was just a handful of Guardians on the grand scheme of things who have finished it. Seems pretty epic, man. It seems like this thing is very, very hard. Yeah. I think from what I've seen, they didn't actually put a new gear set. Is that true, Sean? It's just kind of like a reskin.
There's new gear, but there's only 2 new weapons, and I think you could even get those weapons by turning in tokens to Benedict 99, I think. Okay. Not 100% sure on that one, though.
So yeah, but it doesn't look like they did a whole new gear set. I mean, it's just kind of like, just looks a little bit different, right? This go around, or is it different? And it's just kind of, I don't know. Obviously, you can tell we haven't done the raid layer, but I definitely do want to get in at some point and tackle that. But I'm nowhere near even ready to even think about that right now.
I'm probably 2 weeks out because while I like difficulty, I don't want to be in there for 7 hours being frustrated as hell. Because that's not fun to me.
I don't even think I'm 2 weeks out, man. I'm just going to wait a while till there seems to people kind of figured out the flow of the whole thing, and then we'll go in. Or I'm going to go in then and check it out at that point. But, all right. Well, let's move on from the Warmind guys. And again, email us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. We want to know your feedback. Even hit us on Twitter, @GuardiansofD. Tell us your feedback. We love reading what you guys think of these new expansions. And just
we really do want comments and questions from you guys from our emails. So please do hit us up. We read every single one of those, so hit us up.
And if you notice, obviously, we're trying to give a spectrum of viewpoints here. I mean, in the end, here I am telling you how much I love this expansion. I think it's great, but yet I'm trying to side with those people, because I know if we don't side with people saying, hey, this leveling system is perfect, that, no, we're Bungie shields.
I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, it's like I said, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Yep. If they make it too easy, we'll complain. If they make it too hard, we'll complain. So,
correct.
I don't, it is what
You're
it
right.
is.
You're right.
It is what it is, man. We all just gotta. If you want to stay in the world of Destiny, you just gotta take it for what it is, right on the surface.
It depends on what your goals are for the game.
True.
That's what If your goal is that you want to give it a shot at Worlds First, that's a son of a gun. If it's look, I want to have time to just level up and play with my friends, it's a different animal. It just depends on what your goals for the game are. That's why you can't make everybody happy, because not everybody has the same goals. So it is what it is.
Yep. Rebel Wild in the chat's asking, what is our Twitter? It's @GuardiansOfD on Twitter. Or if you just search out Guardian Radio, I'm sure you'll find it. All right, let's talk about one quick stream that's going to be coming up. There is a new Bungie bounty that's happening. This one has been brewing for, I want to say, like
kind
a
of
month.
A Bungie versus more than
it is. Bounty. I know Dylan, our community manager, DMG04, was challenged by Pope Bear for a 1v1 Basically said 1v1 me, brah. And they're going to be doing that. When is this? This is on May 16th at 6 p.m. Pacific, so 9 p.m. Eastern. And they're going to do a nice little 1v1. And then after that, the rest of the DCP or Destiny Community Podcast crew is going to be going up against Team Bungie, which we don't know who that Team Bungie is. I don't think they
Well, we know all except for one. That it was Cosmo.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now.
3 people. They didn't say who the fourth person was.
Holtzman.
Exactly.
He works for
totally
Bungie now.
going to be
and
Holtzman,
he used to be on DCP. It's perfect. And he's a beast at PvP.
Yep.
Right.
I hope to see him on there.
I hope so too, man. That'd be classic. So tune into that. And you know what's going to be cool about that? I bet you, they haven't really said so much, but there may be some more insight and stuff kind of about just the building of this expansion or just kind of what's happening. I mean, that happened with the last one, so it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of go that way. Real quick as well, the strike or heroic strike glitch, as you're hearing this, will be gone. But if you're tuning in live and you're still been having issues with that, it's pretty, number one, it's unfortunate that the glitch was there. But number two, just if you need to fix it, just make sure that you do not see the name of the strike on the screen as you're logging into the heroic strikes. As long as you don't see that, you should be good to go, and it will count towards milestones, count towards quests, things like that. That was kind of an unfortunate issue. I think that did also happen this week, was people were tearing through these strikes, trying to get through it, banging their head against the wall, finally beat it, and it wasn't counting. So,
or you could be an idiot like me last night where, because I made a video on that workaround where basically you fire it up. As soon as you see the strike name, back right out, fire it up again, wait until it just stays weekly heroic strike playlist. You could be an idiot like me. We're doing the sleeper quest and we're doing them and we're doing it right. And I'm like, wait, this is not counting towards my sleeper quest. We did 4 to 5 strikes. And then my friend Rocco, shout out to him, he goes, hey Mesa, do you have your Ikelos hand cannon equipped? Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
I did it twice this week, bro.
I forgot to put it on. Yep. So,
I'd always put my sunshot on. I'm like, sunshot. Oh, wait. Damn it.
I was like, that was a total Mesa fail on that one, man.
Yeah, I did the same thing, man. All right. Well, let's move on here to our clan spotlight. Part of the show, we spotlight a clan because, hey, right now there's new content out there. You're going to need people to play with. Hell, if you want to do Escalation Protocol, jump in and do the whole networking issue of trying to get 9 people together, best way to do it is be in a clan. So, K-Dub, who do you have this week for us, man?
Yeah, buddy. And we've had some people in chat saying, hey, I'm trying to level up. I need a clan. Well, listen up. So this is on the PS4 side, but they also have PC and I believe even Xbox, because it's a pretty big clan. So I have it labeled as PS4, but just listen up, but they're on PC as well. So it's Seraphim Elite. It says, we are a community of over 200 people centered in and around the world of Destiny 2. We are a collection of like-minded individuals, truly from all over the world, from North America to the UK to Singapore to Australia. We were founded by a small group of friends who were dissatisfied with the state of clans and other groups that already existed, many of which started to function as cold and heartless, looking for group websites and forums. Seraphim Elite is an ongoing mission to change that method of community organizing by providing a warm and friendly environment to any and all players. Whether you're young or old, male or female, non-binary, noob or pro, casual or competitive, we've got a place for you. Friends to make and memories to last. We're currently trying to bolster our PS4 and PC ranks. So if you're looking for a great set of people to roll with who know the raids well and play some darn good trials and will grind the new content a ton, you're in luck. If you think you're a good fit for us, then drop by our Discord server first and give us a shout. We'd love to have you. In addition to playing with some of the finest ragtag bunch of Guardians this side of North American Dead Zone Atlantic, we're quite prone to the odd giveaway or two. 2 months ago, we did one, and we did one for a gaming PC, and we had one for a SCUF controller last month. We're also looking to set up randomized D2 PvP tourneys once private matches return, which is right now. Prizes involved for the winners. If that's your thing, that said, it's only for clan members. So what better incentive do you have aside from having the time of your life? The 4 small requirements are: be 18 plus, have a mic or a headset, mic and headset, be able to communicate and listen, and make fun of our moderator Nomad.
Nice.
So they have a Discord. Just look them up on the BNet site. Just look up Seraphim Elite. You'll find their information. I'm not going to just read the whole the URL for the Discord, but hit those guys up. That's a large clan. If you need help and you want people that are playing, look those guys up on PS4 or PC. They're looking to grow.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, so if you have a clan out there, remember, send it to us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. You can email us or go to our website, theguardiansofdestiny.com, and fill out the form for the clans there. That's probably the best way to get your clan spotlighted here on the show. So as promised, we do have some an email here we wanted to read here because we're running a little bit long here. But this email comes to us from Hungry Hunter. And he says, "Hey, Guardians, ya boy Hunter here. So after playing the Warmind DLC for 3 days now, I can say Bungie has definitely stepped up their game, slowing the progression, even if it's a little annoying. New exotics, and that was him saying that, not me. He says new exotics, weapons, and hidden secrets. But one thing I feel is lacking is the campaign. My biggest complaint is the bosses we encountered. As he says, we faced Nocris. I thought he would have had a story in the campaign where we would learn his motivations and why he is there on Mars with Zol. But he just appears as a quick boss battle at the end of a mission. Same thing with Zol. We learn a little bit about him, but why is he there? I'm not a casual player, and I'm well-versed in lore, but I feel that we should understand our enemy's motives, right? Sorry for making this so long-winded and making you read my unintelligible ramblings. From Hungry Hunter 375. P.S. I'm a master race golden gun human hunter.
Nice.
I tried to delete that part. I guess I left it in.
So what do you guys what do you guys think? I mean, that seems to be kind of the outcry from some people or from the lore community is, Nocris is he's the brother of Crota?
Crota. Yeah.
And so this is a character that in the Book of Sorrows, in the lore of Destiny, is a very known character that we thought we would see at some point, but not just as the end of a mission boss or at the end of a strike boss. Thought there would be a lot more story around him, but instead, this is how he's here. And even I'll be honest, like I said, I kind of played through it, not really trying to dive in too much to the lore because I'm just not so versed, but I thought it was cool, kind of everything we're facing, and this is neat, but I didn't really know why we were fighting Nocris. I was like, okay, well, he's just the guy that's there with the hive on Mars, and then the worm, Zol, I have no clue why the hell he's there. He's a worm god. Okay, this is neat.
Yep.
But there was really no reason for me to know what was the motivation, outside of at some point Rasputin's going to wake up. I mean, that was kind of what I got. And Zavala was pissed a little bit. Like Zavala's like, no, don't do this. So I don't know.
I wish we did. I really wish we had more backstory on the whole thing. You know what I mean? And yes, I know lore is within the game. It's within weapons and within certain exotics and stuff. But I mean, I used to rely on Bife and other, channels to put all that together. And it kind of, feels like there's not enough there for them to really put together like everything was in D1 with the Grimoire cards and everything. And I would have loved to have heard more, because think about it, that's Crota's brother, right? Yeah. I mean, I'd like to know more about him rather than him just being a small part of the story.
Slam him with a sword.
And a strike boss, I would have liked to have known the backstory.
Here's the only thing that I'll say. So it took us, what's it been, 3 years to find out who the hell the stranger is?
Yep.
Right? Yep. So I think what I'm hoping is that it's a tease. Mm-hmm. That it's a tease for something that's coming down the road. And because, that's what's helping with Elsie Bray and the stranger and the whole thing. And now we've got exotics. Now we've got exotic sparrows. Now we've got story. Now we know who she is. We've got all this stuff with the whole, with Rasputin, the war, all that stuff all tied together to the stranger that we've been bitching about for 3 years that we didn't know who the hell the stranger was. Yeah. So what I'm hoping is that there's a plan that it's just a tease to get us to go, what the hell's with Nocris? And then later on down the road, that's going to come, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
But Caleb, I think I think you're giving him, I don't want to say too much credit for the strangers.
I probably am.
For her now, who everybody is pretty sure and confident who she is, but it took days of deciphering codes on monitors, which again is a very Bungie thing. I mean, when you look back to even like Marathon, Craig,
the
who used to be a
Bray
coach,
thing
loves that
didn't
stuff.
take all of that. I mean, there were so many things that there's been speculation going on for a long time that that's who
for
the
a
stranger
known
was.
fact to know who she is.
I understand.
That's what it took.
Right.
Anybody could say, "Oh yeah, I thought it was Elsie." I saw some guy post on Reddit like, "Oh, 2 years ago I knew," and it's like, no, you just took an educated guess.
Right.
Now
right.
you know. You only know because you deciphered ones and zeros on a computer and found a code and went to coordinates and found like that's how they had to find it. And
she's
so I think,
an exo, bro.
I think the argument would be put that stuff in the game, right? But I think it's cool how they did it, man. I think it's pretty neat. I think that whole I mean, the Reddit was going crazy. I mean, the Focus Fire Chat guys, I mean, they were all over this stuff. You know, Bearded Grizzly, Bife, everybody was going bananas over this stuff. Like, what does this mean? And it's so cool to see the community come together like that and solve this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm glad they do it because there ain't no way I'm going to be any part of that, right? We just get to get the benefits of it, but it's cool that they do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it could just be a sign for me. I would kind of take it as Nokris and Zol. Those were named characters in the lore, but maybe it just is showing how much now this new lore team that's there, they're paying homage to the previous lore that was there, but it's like, okay, let's put Nokris in. We just got to bite the bullet, and here's what it is. But with whatever's coming next down the line for Destiny, it's going to be the new shit. Like, get ready because we're creating the new stuff and really organizing it the right way. You know, not to say the Grimoire, we're all over the place, but, you know, I mean, they've already gone out of their way to say that's folklore, you know, which made people lose their minds, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me this didn't really happen. It's like, well, they're telling you that because now they're building a whole new fiction. That's all in the past.
I got a tattoo. What do you mean?
Oh God! Don't say that.
No. It sucks, right? It sucks.
Right.
I got an Nokris tattoo. Oh. It sucks, but that unfortunately I think is the direction that the story team and the lore team is headed, and you know, it's kind of got to get ready for that.
Yep.
But
it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun.
All right. Let's wrap it up there, guys. You know, obviously, everybody's going to be continuing to play Warmind, I'm sure, because of just the grind that needs to be there. And, I want to get that Escalation Protocol gear. That gear looks so awesome. I mean, you literally are like a Warmind, man. It's so cool.
I know.
The way you look. So I'm going to be coming back definitely every week, reset, ready to go, doing my milestones, getting up there. And I definitely want to jump into the Spire, so... Yep. Anything you guys want to throw out here at the end before we wrap this one up?
No, overall, it's been really, really fun. So, I mean, I had a few gripes about the progression, but it's only because I love Raid Day. That's really my real gripe, honestly. But other than that, it's been brilliant. They did a great job. Story, yes, maybe it's a little short, but I think, you know, that's never really what this game has been about. This game has always been about endgame, which is what has hurt Destiny 2 from the beginning, is that the end game wasn't there, because that's what Destiny's always been about, is the end game. Yeah, so I think they're killing it. I love the exotics. It's just freaking fun, dude.
It's a really great step in. It's a step in the right direction. I mean, that's the one thing for all the people that seem to be negative on this expansion. It seems like most of them say, "Hey, at least we see it's a step in the right direction." So, you know, if anything, if you maybe played it and you were kind of turned off, hopefully, come fall or whenever this new thing hits, that you will be wanting to see what's coming at that point.
Somebody just put hashtag made it to the end in the chat.
Hashtag made it to the end. Hashtag legend, Daniel.
Yeah. Sean, what you got going on this week, man, in terms of reset and streaming and all that?
Yeah, the weekly reset videos, Cade 6 treasure chest videos. I'm gonna start doing the vendor reset. The weapon, you know, because all the vendors now sell a different weapon each week, and there are new weapons within the loot pool that they're going to be selling. So that I'm going to try to stream at some point. I might do the Leviathan just regular tomorrow at some point. Sweet. If the WTF Game Nation guys have room for me, because that's, you know what I mean? Like, those guys are so busy with the new raid lair and stuff like that, you know, which I'm not even going to attempt to. I'm going to take my time, maybe go in there when I'm like 370 or something, and watch Dado's video on how to actually do it and stuff. I'm going to wait for
we all got to go to Dado. Yep. Please help us, Dado.
Video when it comes to actually how to complete these encounters and stuff like that. And also learn from the WTF Game Nation guys, man. They are the raid pros, man. I've never seen a team, you know, raid as good as those guys. I mean, Toast, he solos the throne room on Prestige before our power levels went up. You know what I mean? I think I'm like, how do you do that? You know, he's like, he's got a Sunbreaker. He knows where they spawn, and he gets it so that we have 5 people in the Shadow Realm, and he's soloing the throne room, you know? Amazing.
He's the best, man. Those dudes are the best. Man, give a shout out to those guys as always. WTF Game Nation, man.
WTF Game Nation on Twitch and on Twitter. If you want a Rageducation, they don't do carries, or they call it Rageducations. Yeah, really good guys too.
Very cool dudes. But all right, everybody. Well, as always, thank you here for tuning in. Remember, follow us on Twitter at Guardians of D. Email us feedback at theguardiansofdestiny.com if you want to have your voice heard here on the show. Looking forward to next week. You know, obviously we'll be giving some more feedback, probably some more of our experiences in the Warmind. And hopefully we can get some of your feedback on the show. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about Warmind. So with that, everyone, thank you here for tuning in. However you're tuning in, whether it's through YouTube, through Podbean, through iTunes, or your podcast service of choice, thank you so much. And with that, we'll catch you guys next week. Later.
Boys. Good show, guys. Good
show stream. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for hanging out. Sorry, no camera, guys, but my eyes are killing me right now. My glasses.
His Ray glasses blew up in his face and it's hurt.
Oh my God! That and I have a root canal they need to finish on Friday. I went back to the emergency appointment today because whatever they did on Friday didn't work, and I was still in a tremendous amount of pain.
It's the worst, dude. I had a real one, or a regular root canal in September. It was actually right after Destiny 2 came out. And I never had one. That was just the worst. But then I started feeling the sensitivity on my other tooth, like within the last month or two. Because I had basically, when I was a kid, I had like big fillings put in. And the guy told me, like, as you get older, because they were like big fillings, like that's just what they did back then. It expanded my tooth, so it's kind of creating like little cracks kind of in there. So I started feeling that again. And before, when I felt it probably last summer and let it go all the way to September to get infected, at that point it was too late. This time he's like, all right, well, if you're feeling it, let's just right now cap it. So they were able to just kind of go in there, do what they needed to do before I would even need to have the root canal. But man,
thank God,
Sean, I feel for you, man. That's
tooth
just
pain is awful, man.
Is your tooth a Mesa fail?
It's Mesa failing on me right now. That's for sure. I'll tell you. My girlfriend gave me the ultimate combo. You take 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol and you take 600 milligrams of ibuprofen at the same time, and you're good for about 6 hours. Definitely helps with the pain. I'm not taking any of those stupid painkillers. They make me just nauseous.
I can't. Yeah, me too.
Can you maybe just do one and let us watch you and do a video? No, I'm just kidding, Sean. I don't want you to take one, Sean. Please don't.
Thank you.
But all right.
But when Mesa's slurring on his next video, you'll know.
Hey guys, it's Mesa back at it with some Destiny. Wow, look at the pretty stars. Oh,
that's awesome. But all right, stream. So I'm going to cut the stream, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for hanging out in chat. We love you guys.
Later, everybody.